In the world of royal bloodlines, power struggles, and public scrutiny, even the most polished of family portraits hide fractures too deep for tradition to mend. The Danish royal family, long regarded as one of Europe's most stable monarchies, is now facing a tension that not even centuries of royal protocol can smooth over. At the heart of this unfolding drama lies a growing chasm between Prince Joachim and his mother, the revered yet controversial Queen Margrethe II. What once seemed like a functional if distant royal mother-son relationship has curdled into quiet conflict, strained emotions, and a sense of alienation that few would dare acknowledge publicly, until now. As cameras capture the public smiles, behind palace doors a deeper, more human story unfolds, one of hurt, generational misunderstanding, and a longing for recognition. For Prince Joachim, the second son of Queen Margrethe, life in the shadows of his elder brother Frederik was always the norm. Yet, the monarchy had managed to preserve a delicate balance, allowing both sons to serve in their own capacities while remaining part of the royal core. That equilibrium came crashing down in late 2022 when Queen Margrethe announced a shocking decision: the removal of royal titles from Joachim's 4 children. In a kingdom where lineage, titles, and the dignity of one's position are woven into the very fabric of identity, this announcement felt like a lightning bolt through the Danish aristocracy. The press called it modernization, but for Joachim, it felt like betrayal, a stripping of his family's place in history. Queen Margrethe defended the decision with the cool rationality expected of a monarch. She spoke of streamlining the monarchy, of allowing her grandchildren to forge their own paths. But between the lines of her official statement, observers could sense an undercurrent of detachment. Was this truly about modernization, or was it a symbolic act to draw clear lines between heirs and spares? For Joachim, the implications went beyond protocol. The emotional wounds were visible when he addressed the media with a trembling voice, stating that his children had been blindsided. The Danish public, often protective of its royal family, found itself divided. Some supported the Queen's reasoning, citing the need for a leaner monarchy suited for the 21st century. Others sympathized with Joachim, seeing in him the tragic figure of a loyal prince cut adrift. What complicated matters further was the physical distance that had already grown between Joachim and the royal nucleus in Copenhagen. Living in Paris with his second wife, Princess Marie, Joachim had become somewhat of an expatriate prince, serving Denmark from afar in a diplomatic capacity but increasingly seen as peripheral to the main royal stage. This geographical separation mirrored an emotional one. As King Frederik X now steps into his role with Queen Mary by his side, the potential for healing emerges, but only if they choose to use their new authority not to continue the divide, but to mend it. For Frederik, the pressure is immense. As the heir who always knew his destiny, he also carries the weight of familial loyalty. The close bond he has with Queen Mary has become a symbol of modern monarchy, relatable, elegant, and in touch with the public. Yet beneath their glittering appearances lies a challenge greater than any public engagement, a fractured family tree that could either wither or blossom under their reign. Queen Mary, the Australian-born commoner who has navigated royal life with exceptional grace, may be the unexpected bridge between mother and son. Her reputation for diplomacy, empathy, and modern sensibilities positions her uniquely to understand both sides. She has built her image as a unifying force, not just in Denmark, but internationally. And for Prince Joachim, who has often felt excluded from the royal inner circle, Queen Mary might just represent the first real opportunity for reconciliation. But the road to healing won't be easy. There are years of resentment, unspoken grievances, and pride to contend with. Joachim's sense of loss is not just symbolic, it's personal. He has dedicated decades of his life to military service, diplomacy, and royal duty. To see his children's titles revoked was not just a professional slight but an emotional wound inflicted publicly. His wife Marie has also spoken out about their pain, adding a rare dose of candor to a typically guarded institution. Meanwhile, Queen Margrethe's post-abdication image remains one of stoic resolve. Even at 85, she commands respect, but her decision-making is increasingly seen through the lens of generational disconnect. While many admire her for adapting to a new era, others question whether she fully grasped the emotional fallout of her title reform. To her credit, the Queen did issue a rare statement expressing regret over the hurt caused, not for the decision itself, but for its impact. It was a rare moment of vulnerability from a monarch known for her firm grasp on tradition. Now, the challenge falls to King Frederik and Queen Mary to determine whether this fractured family dynamic will define their reign or be reshaped into something healthier. If they choose silence, the royal household risks drifting further apart. But if they intervene with compassion, perhaps they can restore what protocol and pride have broken. There are signs that Frederik may be open to reconciliation. His long-standing affection for his younger brother has been documented in numerous public events, where their camaraderie once appeared effortless. Behind closed doors, however, the politics of royal repair require more than just sentiment, they demand action. One potential gesture could be the reinstatement of symbolic roles for Joachim's children within the broader royal framework, even if not full titles. Another could be increased visibility and involvement for Prince Joachim and Princess Marie in royal events, particularly those promoting Danish culture abroad. Symbolism matters in monarchy, and even subtle changes in positioning, invitation, or acknowledgement can shift public perception and personal relationships alike. As the monarchy continues to evolve, the Danish people will be watching closely. They've grown attached not just to their queen and king, but to the family itself, to the stories, sacrifices, and symbols that have defined Danish identity for generations. The pain that Prince Joachim expressed resonated deeply with citizens who understand that family, no matter how noble, is rarely free of conflict. The hope now rests on whether this new royal generation can write a different chapter. In recent weeks, subtle moves hint at a softening. Sources close to the palace have whispered about quiet communications between Queen Mary and Princess Marie, a thawing of the previously frosty relationship between the two women. If true, this could mark the first real sign of progress, a private, personal diplomacy that often precedes public reconciliation. Queen Mary's influence, especially among younger Danes, continues to grow. Her advocacy for mental health, social inclusion, and women's rights gives her an aura of authenticity in an institution often criticized for its formality. If anyone can help modernize the emotional language of monarchy, it is Mary. And in doing so, she might give Prince Joachim something far more valuable than titles, recognition, understanding, and a place within a family that has too often made him feel like a footnote. Meanwhile, King Frederik will need to navigate the expectations of tradition and the need for evolution. His reign will not be judged solely by policy but by how he stewards the royal family as a unit. Will he allow old wounds to fester, or will he choose the harder path of reconciliation? The future of the monarchy may well depend on his answer. In a time when European monarchies are redefining themselves to stay relevant, personal integrity and emotional intelligence have become as important as ceremonial duties. The Danish monarchy has a chance not just to be modern in name, but in spirit, to show that even royal families can face their flaws, embrace change, and build stronger bonds. For Prince Joachim, the journey toward healing may still be long, but with King Frederik and Queen Mary at the helm, the possibility of unity is no longer out of reach. Could this moment be the turning point Denmark has been waiting for, a quiet royal revolution not of power, but of the heart?